I was already on my knees when he walked through the door, lips wrapped tight around him, tongue swirling slow and deliberate. His keys hit the floor with a clatter. A choked gasp escaped him as I took him deeper, eyes locked upward, watching his jaw slacken and his thighs tremble. No hello, no small talk, just the wet, hungry sound of me claiming him the second he stepped inside our home. Quick hello to the regulars. You know the drill. Like, subscribe, hit the bell so you never miss these late-night sins. New here? Welcome to the deep end. Things are about to get very, very wet. Let's dive. He'd barely kicked the door shut behind him before I had his belt undone, pants shoved to his ankles, and him thick and pulsing against my tongue. I worked him with long, slow drags, savoring every twitch, every low groan that rumbled through his chest. My hands gripped his hips, holding him steady while I teased the sensitive underside, then took him to the back of my throat until his fingers knotted hard in my hair. I kept him right there, teetering, pulling off just long enough to whisper, "You taste like you've been thinking about this all day," before diving back down. When his legs started shaking and his breath turned ragged, I let him spill, hot, deep, swallowing every drop while he groaned my name like a prayer. Only then did I stand, wipe the corner of my mouth with a wicked little smile, and tug him toward the bedroom. He followed like a man already half gone, shirt half unbuttoned, eyes dark and dazed. We barely made it to the mattress before I was climbing over him, straddling his hips, grinding down so he could feel exactly how soaked I was from just tasting him. "You feel that?" I murmured, rolling my hips in a slow, filthy circle. "That's what you do to me." I sank down onto him, inch by torturous inch, letting him fill me completely. We both stilled for a heartbeat, breathing hard, locked together, savoring the stretch and heat. Then I rode him, hard, deep, chasing that spot that made his eyes roll and his hands bruise my hips. When I leaned down and growled, "Come inside me, baby. Give it all to me," he shattered, hips bucking, spilling deep with a broken moan that echoed off the walls. Afterward, we lay there, slick and spent, hearts pounding in sync. He kissed my shoulder, voice rough. "You're going to ruin me one of these days." I smiled against his throat. "Not yet. I've got plans." I reached for his phone, said I wanted to show him something naughty I'd seen online. But a notification lit the screen before I could even unlock it. "Mia, that presentation today, you had the whole room hanging on every word, can't stop thinking about it." I froze. Then I opened the thread. It was a slow burn of flirtation turned obsession, compliments laced with heat, late night wish I could see you outside the office messages, a photo of her desk with his name scribbled in the margin of a notepad. She wanted him, badly, and he hadn't shut it down. He'd laughed, sent emojis, let the spark flicker. I turned the phone toward him. "She's been trying to get close to you for months. You know that, right?" He blinked, still blissed out. "Mia? Come on. She's just being nice." I arched a brow. Nice doesn't text, "I wonder what your hands would feel like after hours at midnight." He flushed. "I guess I liked the attention. It felt good." I leaned in, lips brushing his ear. "You like knowing she's thinking about you like that?" His breath hitched. "Yeah, maybe a little." I smiled, slow and dangerous. "Good, because I'm about to show you what happens when someone else tries to play with what's mine." The next morning he left early for a client meeting outside the office. Mia would be at work, probably checking her phone every 5 minutes. I stayed in bed, replaying every message, every little heart, every suggestive line. I pictured her thighs clenching under her desk. The more I imagined it, the hotter the idea burned. I wasn't jealous, I was ravenous. So I texted her, "Hey Mia, free this afternoon? Just want to talk. Nothing bad." She replied instantly, "Of course. Everything okay?" "Perfect. Bring coffee. And wear something cute." She arrived 40 minutes later, tight pencil skirt, silky blouse unbuttoned one too many, lips glossy. 2 iced coffees shook slightly in her hands. I took the drinks, set them aside, then met her eyes. "You're even more beautiful in person." She blushed hard. Thank you. I stepped closer. "I know you've been texting my husband." Her eyes went wide. "I didn't mean to." "I'm not angry." I brushed my thumb over her lower lip. "I'm intrigued. Most women don't have the courage." She swallowed. "You're really okay with it?" I didn't answer with words. I kissed her. Soft at first, testing. When she gasped, I deepened it. Slow, wet, hungry. Her hands trembled until I guided them to my waist. She melted into me. I walked her back to the couch, fingers working her buttons open, peeling the blouse away. Pale lace bra, soft whimpers. I kissed down her throat, her collarbone lower, until I had her skirt hiked up and her thighs trembling under my mouth. I took my time, learning every spot that made her arch and sigh. When she shattered, quiet, shaking, fingers twisted in my hair, I held her close, whispering how perfect she was. Afterward, she lay there, dazed, cheeks flushed. "I've never—" With a woman, I kissed her temple. "You were exquisite," she laughed shakily. "You're dangerous." "Maybe." I traced her jaw. "But I'm not done." I slipped my own top off. Her eyes darkened with want. "Can I—" I nodded. She touched me like I was something forbidden and holy, gentle at first, then bolder. When her mouth found me, I let my head fall back, pleasure rolling through me in thick, devastating waves. When I came, it was quiet but complete, legs trembling, her name a soft gasp on my lips. We stayed tangled, touching softly, laughing under our breath. Then the front door opened. She stiffened. I smiled. I pressed a finger to her lips. "Shh, this part is for him." Footsteps climbed the stairs. The bedroom door swung wide. He froze in the doorway, me, bare, glowing, still flushed. Mia, half undressed, lips swollen, eyes wide, both of us watching him like he was the only thing we'd ever hungered for. I crooked a finger. "Come here, baby." My voice dripped honey and sin. "You've been such a good boy. Time to collect your reward." He stepped forward like he was walking through a dream. I met him, kissed him deep, letting him taste her on my tongue. He groaned. I stripped him slow, reverent, while Mia watched, hungry. We guided him to the bed. Soft hands, soft mouths. We worshipped him together, slow, teasing, relentless, until every sigh and shudder fed the fire between us. I eased him inside her while I straddled her face. The sight of him sinking deep, the feel of her tongue, his broken moans, it was raw. It was everything. We moved like we'd been waiting for this forever. When he couldn't hold back, when his body locked and he spilled with a raw, helpless sound, I kissed him through it, drinking every cry. Afterward, we collapsed together, limbs tangled, breaths slowing. I pressed a kiss to his jaw. "That," I whispered, "is what happens when someone else tries to steal what's mine." I looked between them, smiled, slow. "So, who's ready for round 2? Be honest in the comments. If you walked in on that scene, would you freeze? Or would you dive straight in? What would you do in his place? Tell me. I read every word. If this left you aching, smash like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Next time, we go even filthier.